All right, White-Ra going to be our red toss as always on the left-hand spawn of Metalopolis. Over on the right-hand side of the map, we have Liquid.Sheth, going to be our purple Zerg.
Indeed.
Always repping the purple Urple.
Yep. And we were talking, I made a comment during the break, but these guys are even mannered to the casters. They don't switch colors on you. They don't mess with anything else, so very, very nice.
Sometimes that's tough.
Yeah.
I've had casts before where he casting somebody who's red like the whole time, and then they switch to pink. And you're
the
just like,
worst is not even when they switch colors, but when they
swap.
Oh yes, because especially in a mirror matchup,
blue red,
a mirror matchup. Yeah, we had who did we have playing? We had two Slayers players playing against each other, two Terran ones. I think it was Ryung and MMA during the qualifiers, and they swapped during the third game, and I was like,
come on, guys.
Anyway,
making our jobs difficult. Breaking my balls here. Breaking my balls. Is he going to Forge Fast Expand once again?
He is. This is like the... now, of course, Metalopolis is harder to do that on, but this is the Kiwikaki/TT1 placement that I've seen recently. Looks like White-Ra utilizing it as well, where you'll build the
Kiwi and TT1 are pretty meticulous about their walls. They have great walls.
And White-Ra, as we've seen, is a little bit less so.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it ends up turning into that. I still love Kiwikaki's build against Zerg. You do the Forge Fast Expand into double Chrono Boosted Gateways, and you basically get an auto-deny on the third base. Like, there's just no question about it.
The +1, 12 Zealot push.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. And then he usually transitions into that double Stargate Void Ray, which is pretty interesting. I think
you're so worried about ground units.
I think once people figured it out a little bit, it kind of wasn't as effective. People would build extra queens and just kind of throw a lot at you, lings and roaches.
Because it is really easy for a Zerg player to prepare for air. But look at this, and not even a Forge Fast Expand, just a Nexus first. And dropping the Pylon, which is especially interesting because it forces Sheth into producing some lings, and if he detects a hint of weakness at the front wall, maybe he'll decide to push it and just overrun his opponent.
Yeah, but I mean, you still have so much time as a Protoss player, and then the lings are also going to have to divert to kill that Pylon for a little bit.
That's very true.
Probably only going to send one, so the Pylon actually helps in that regard a little bit. It's gonna force the links to take longer to get to the front door eventually. Forge is gonna finish here. Gateway started as well before the first cannon, so we should see our first cannon going down here in just a second. He's probably gonna put it. Oh, interesting.
He's going to put it in between the structures or on the outside towards the wall? Or?
Well, at this point, I really like where the cannon is right now because it's out of range of roaches from the front, assuming he adds a few more structures.
If they continue building
across, and I'm sure he will.
But it looks like he's intending for the bigger wall rather than that style, especially when you see the forward pylon going right here. You usually see almost like a straight line going back to the Nexus just to close off that gap as much as possible, and then players will stick a photon cannon here in the mineral line and one up at the front.
Yeah, very true.
All right, but without the cannon in the back, the lings are going to have a lot easier time making their way through. And, actually, smart decision here out of Sheth. Just put those on hold position, wait for a Zealot to come out, and deny all mining at the expansion for the next 30 or 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I'm sure White-Ra is wishing he put that cannon up in the back, and, you'll almost see every player put that cannon up in the back. I mean, it's very rare to just see a one cannon attempt at a hold at the natural here. It's rather risky, I would say. If Sheth wanted to, he could certainly punish here as soon as speed gets finished, add some additional lings, and then just try and make a move on the natural. And we do see a couple lings in production. That probe going to get in there and scout them. We'll see if White-Ra adds any additional defenses here. And there goes the second cannon finally after seeing a few additional lings.
And that's actually just right up at the front as well. Now, with 7 range, it's going to be able to fire pretty far back here, but it's not like it's going to be able to hit behind the mineral line or anything like that. And second gateway goes down, but it wasn't 2 gates before Cybernetics Core or anything. Third photon cannon. So White-Ra really doesn't want to be pushed for a while. We do have a third base coming up for Sheth down to the bottom right-hand corner.
I don't know how I feel. Oh, and that Zealot does get separated from the herd, and he will get taken out. Some additional probes will go down here. If Sheth micros his lings,
he doesn't have to. He, looks like a Sentry's going to come out and pull some units out of position now. And anytime they move, they're actually going to get hit by the photon cannon. Looks like the third photon cannon is canceled, though, for White-Ra, so he needs a few more resources because he just lost a lot of mining time. But a couple of probes going down. Sheth being exceptionally annoying and very effective with these lings in the mineral line.
I'm surprised he didn't actually go for the Sentry. I think he could get that. There we go. Oh.
Does a little bit of damage, but not enough, of course.
Yeah.
And now we have a Stalker being sent in, but not
some
before he kills
probes.
another probe. How many has he killed? 4 already. Of course, one of those was the one that tried to run into the main, but still, an additional 3 workers killed there for virtually no cost.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll take that.
Any day, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Any harass you can do is good harass, and especially in situations where both of you are kind of sitting back and macroing, it's like the one guy who's picked off the other guy's 4 or 5 workers. You always have that slight mental edge, you know. It's kind of like, screw you. I got 5 of your workers. But then again, it also puts you ahead in a real sense, in a tangible sense. You are mining more. You're slowly getting farther ahead of your opponent.
He also pushed ahead as well. I mean, don't forget, he had 2 rounds where he sat here and did a whole position micro for a total of about 2 in-game units between the 2 of them, and White-Ra just couldn't mine off of his natural, so that early expansion was essentially wasted. He would have been actually economically better suited to have done the Forge Fast expand, 1 photon cannon here, 1 in the mineral line.
White-Ra's going for such an early, risky third here. I think that's so dangerous on his part.
Especially with what Sheth has been doing lately, and going 3 base and just mass roach.
I feel like Sheth could really punish him for this. White-Ra hardly has any units. How many gateways is he working off of
Let's see.
now?
I think that's his 3rd going up. 5th. Never mind, that's his 5th. I'm sorry.
Okay, but still.
Yeah. But it's going to be a while before those come into production. Working just finished up now at the 9-minute mark.
Wow.
Yeah. He didn't chrono boost that at all. Oh, Lings do manage to get the way in. They kill 1 of the sentries.
Oh,
the second
beautiful
may fall
surround,
here.
though.
Yeah.
Had an opportunity there to maybe kill a few more sentries, but Sheth backs off. Doesn't want to have anything to do with that just yet.
Yeah.
He's gonna head on out there.
Now, if Sheth doesn't punish this, it looks like he's just going to move into macro mode. So he's taking a 4th base. He's not going to try and punish this with mass roaches. I was about to say there were 16 more drones coming up. He's already at 70 at the before the 10-minute mark, which is a little bit remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we are just seeing so much macro out of these 2 players. Hardly making any units there. We finally have the full wall going up for White-Ra, so his 3rd will be relatively safe from the run by, at least on the northeast side of his 3rd.
Sure.
But he really needs to lock down that natural area, and he'll probably keep a majority of his army there. Actually, it looks like he's gearing up for a push at the 4th, oddly enough.
Yeah.
He does have that pylon. No, he doesn't. It's just now being built, so he's going to miss a cycle there.
Yes.
And he's also not bringing a probe with his army, so I don't think he really... Well, never mind. I was going to say I don't think he really has any intention of continuing this.
Or maybe he just wants to test the waters, but of course, knowing his
There's no getting back from here, though.
Exactly. Wow, is Sheth... Oh, he's just starting to transfer over the first couple of... I don't think... Well, now he should by the direction of those drones, but I don't think he had any inclination of the base down at the 6 o'clock. And here comes the attack, and a few roaches are trapped pretty effectively. Sheth doing quite a bit of damage, making sure that those zealots could kill a lot of units up at the front. White-Ra continuing to reinforce now, but his walk distance is not the shortest because he didn't bring that probe up, as you mentioned before. Wow, okay.
White-Ra keeps catching Sheth in periods where, he really just doesn't have very many units at all.
Right.
And I think he might be able to get in here and kill the 3rd. These roaches do not have speed. It's on the way, but I don't think it's going to be done before this critical battle is finished here.
Right.
And White-Ra with some great micro thus far. But, I think Sheth might just have too much here, especially once these eggs pop at these 2 hatcheries and additional units join in. I think Sheth should be able to hold this off. Oh, that pylon in the back. Where did that probe come from?
I don't know, actually.
What the hell? I thought he didn't bring a probe with his army.
Maybe this was one that was buried down at the bottom right, and we didn't even notice it.
You sly dog, White-Ra. He's still going to lose everything.
Yeah,
now.
he is. And he's going to lose that as well. Well, let's see. He does see the next base, however, so he does get a pretty good read on that. But Sheth now up by 52 supply, and oh wow, actually it looks like he threw in a Ling run by at the same time. Apologize, missed that. It looks like a cycle of units was spent there, which is why he didn't come over at the attacking front. But he did save the Nexus, and he retains a lot of his economy. However, that being said, White-Ra's production is not going to match a 4 base with Macro Hatch Zerg.
No, there's no way. Absolutely no way. Sheth's just going to explode in supply right here. He can drone up. He can continue to add units, and it looks like he is doing just that. Oh, boy. Here comes Sheth with a push at the natural. White-Ra with virtually nothing to answer. He has a lone immortal here that might get caught with his pants down, and it looks like some of those zealots will get picked off right away. He might lose his robo here as well.
Yeah,
if
really
it goes
bad.
down before that second immortal, that's catastrophic. Everything just falling apart right now for White-Ra. He's going to lose both of these Robos. Has a couple Stalkers here trying to ward off these Roaches, but there's no way. I mean, that's just so many Roaches.
Way too much stuff. That's just way too much stuff. And the Immortal, as cool as it is, with that increased range, does go down. The Stalkers are going to fall shortly thereafter, and Sheth is actually going to reinforce here in a bit. We could see some units warp down to the low ground for White-Ra if he wants to, but he just needs to focus all of his attention on deflecting this attack up at the front. Decent force fields trapping those units in position, making sure that they minimize their damage, but it would still be a miracle if White-Ra was able to actually hold this off and then mount some sort of a counterattack.
Yeah, it really would. He does have 1,500 minerals right now, though.
Yes.
Really floating high in the mineral department. Definitely needs to start spending that on something. Chrono boost all the gateways and just start pumping units, or send in some zealots over there at that proxy pylon location. Try and kill a few of those drones over at the fort.
Yeah.
But like you said, Sheth's macro right now, he's working off of 4 base. He has that additional macro hatch. He's up at 177 right now. White-Ra down at 62.
There's only a Stalker and 3 sentries on the field right now for White-Ra. That's it. Against 37 Roaches, that's not going to be enough. He will not be able to hold this. And it looks like that this next push may just outright kill him. Sheth just flooding. And so look at this stream of units just making their way across the map.
If you look at the mini-map, it's like a breadcrumb trail leading back to Sheth's base of Roaches, not breadcrumbs. And
there it is.
The rest of them will join the party.
GG.
And there it is.
So Sheth does take game number 3, moves up 2-1 in this best of 9 here at IPL Fight Club.